Every year on May 5th, people across the United States throw on sombreros, down margaritas, and shout, "Viva Mexico!" But here's the twist. Cinco de Mayo isn't Mexico's Independence Day. So what exactly are we celebrating? And why has this holiday become more popular in the US than in Mexico itself? Let's clear something up right away. Mexico's true Independence Day is September 16th, not May 5th. That day, in 1810, Father Miguel Hidalgo rang the church bells in the town of Dolores and called for an uprising against Spanish rule. It's known as El Grito de Dolores, the Cry of Dolores, and it marks the start of Mexico's long war for independence. So, why the confusion with Cinco de Mayo? The short answer? Cultural blending, marketing, and a bit of historical misplacement. For many Americans, May 5th feels like Mexico's 4th of July. Parades, parties, themed menus. But that association actually came much later, and not from Mexico itself. So, what did happen on May 5th? Cinco de Mayo commemorates the Battle of Puebla, fought on May 5th, 1862. At the time, Mexico was in political and financial turmoil. French Emperor Napoleon III saw an opportunity and sent troops to invade. But at Puebla, a vastly outnumbered Mexican army made a stand. Led by General Ignacio Zaragoza, just 4,000 Mexican soldiers defeated over 8,000 well-equipped French troops. It wasn't a decisive end to the war. In fact, France returned later with more force. But this battle became a symbol of resistance and national pride. It was proof that even against the odds, Mexico could defend itself from foreign domination. So no, it wasn't independence. But it was a bold victory. A David versus Goliath moment that stirred Mexican patriotism. Here's where things take an unexpected turn. Cinco de Mayo is celebrated far more in the United States than in Mexico. Why? In the 1960s, Mexican-American activists, especially in California, began to reclaim the day as a source of cultural pride. It wasn't about tequila. It was about identity, heritage, and resistance to oppression. But then came the 1980s and 90s. Corporate America took notice. Beer companies, fast food chains, and party brands saw dollar signs and launched full-scale marketing campaigns turning May 5th into a commercial fiesta. By the 2000s, Cinco de Mayo had morphed into a nationwide party, especially in cities with large Latino populations. In some places, it's now celebrated more than Mexico's real Independence Day. Let's travel south and ask, what's Cinco de Mayo like in Mexico? The answer? It's mainly observed in Puebla. There, you'll find military parades, battle reenactments, and civic pride. It's a meaningful holiday. But elsewhere in Mexico, it's pretty quiet. No national fireworks, no week-long sales, no lime-infused beer buckets. In fact, outside Puebla, most Mexicans treat it as a regular workday. The real national celebration, the one with fireworks, family gatherings, concerts, and full-blown patriotism, happens every September 16th. That's Mexico's Independence Day. So now that we know the truth, does it even matter? Yes, it absolutely does. Because how we celebrate history reflects how we understand it. Cinco de Mayo is not about drinking games or party hats. It's a story of resistance, of a proud culture that stood up to imperialism. There's nothing wrong with celebrating, but let's honor the truth while we do it. Let's recognize the heritage behind the holiday, the people, the history, the grit. It's okay to enjoy the day. Just remember what you're really raising your glass to. So, no. Cinco de Mayo is not Mexico's Independence Day, but it is a moment worth remembering, a symbol of courage in the face of impossible odds. Now you know the truth. So the next time someone says, "Happy Mexican Independence Day" on May 5th, you'll know exactly how to set the story straight. Want more myth-busting content like this? Subscribe to the channel and check out more of our Mind Peel episodes.